Alright guys, well I want to begin by first saying welcome to class. Welcome, whether you're in the chemistry section or the research section, welcome. I just wanted to do a brief introductory video on how to set up a Google Drive account and some of the ways that we'll be using this Google Drive account this year. And some of you, I'm sure, already have Google Drive. You've used it in the past, and some of you haven't. And I'm sure some of you are super familiar with it and some of you are not. So I just want to do this video to help those of you that may not know a lot about it or may want to get to know more about it. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to open up your web browser and you're going to type in Google Drive and hit the search button. And this is what's going to appear. And there's two ways you can go about this. You can go ahead and click Google Drive right here. As you can see, it's purple, so I use it a lot. Or you could go ahead and sign into Google as a whole. By doing this, it will automatically use your sign-in credentials for that you have preset in here. As you can see, I have several. But I'm using, it automatically signed me into my personal account, but I want to show you what it's going to look like never having signed in. So it's going to prompt you guys to enter your, where it prompted me to enter my Georgia Southern credentials, it's going to prompt you to enter your school credentials, and that's what I want you to use. I want you to use your school credentials. I don't want you to use your personal credentials for this, okay? It's a good practice to keep your school accounts and your personal accounts separate, and so I want you to begin using that. So once we've done that, I could just type in Google Drive, and it no longer shows a sign-in up here. It shows an L for me, so I know I'm signed into Google as a whole. Alright, and you click Google Drive and this is what's going to appear. So you hit go to Google Drive. Now as you can see, it wants to sign me in to my private account, and I don't want you guys to see the private account. I want you guys to see what it's going to look like when you guys get here. So none of this will be here. These are all documents that I've created or were created and transferred over to this account. The only thing that will appear on your screen is this right here. Alright? And it wants you to either turn them on or turn them off. And it's how to get timely suggestions throughout your day with quick access. And you could choose to use that or not. The other thing that's going to appear is welcome to Google Drive, getting started, and that's a PDF document to help walk you through and basically do what we're doing right now. So I want you to notice there's several things off to the left here. If you click this, it will automatically always reorient you back to the main Drive screen, okay? The screen you see when you first sign in. The second thing is your new button. And it's a drop down. You can create folders, you can upload folders, files, you can upload folders, and then you've got these three main categories here, and there are more, but these are the three that you're going to be most concerned with. And that's Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides. Now Docs is like Word, Sheets is going to be like Excel, and Slides is going to be like PowerPoint. And you might be saying, well, Miss N, why don't we just use those things? Well, Word can be a little expensive if you don't have, Microsoft Office can be expensive if you don't have access, and I know some of you don't have access to it from your phone, and you can actually access Google Drive from your cellular device. So that means if you prepare a lab report for me or something you want me to look at, you can show it to me on my phone, or you can share it to me directly from Google Drive. And so I'm going to show you how to do that a little bit later. Some of the add-ons down here are Google Drawings. Google Drawings is fun if you need to draw out a model or a structure and you want to be able to save it and import it into multiple documents, slides, typed documents, things of that nature. Okay? So that's really the only add-on feature that you're going to use is that. So we're going to go through that, those one at a time in a little bit. Shared with me, this is where you can click and see any folders or attachments or documents that have been shared with you. So if you share with me your lab report, I will be able to see it in this section. All right? Anything you've recently been working on. All right? You've got your typical trash can here, and it'll tell you how much of your storage is used. I think Google gives you 5 gigs, but I'm unsure about that, for free. You guys will find it hard to use that within your high school career. And you can always back it up to Dropbox and stuff like that if you go on to college. So back to my drive. As you can see here, there are documents I was working on when I was getting my undergrad, and it lines them up in order. Now, something I want to share with you is as you click on these, they will reshuffle order up here. So say I click on this one and open it, and then I go back. See, it's shuffled my quick access up here. Okay, these are just the files shown in order, but it shuffles because I've accessed this one most recently. So that's a nice feature. Another thing that you want to consider is that you can go in here and create folders. All right, and kind of organize your documents, and you could just drop and drag them into that folder, and it just creates some organization, all right, for you. So you can at a 1-word or 2-word title see what exactly is in that folder. If I were you and you're going to be using documents for multiple subjects, or take your notes, or however you choose to use Google Drive, I would make a folder for each topic. Okay? So you could do folders that way. So let's get into how you actually, what these categories look like. Okay? So say I want to type a document. All right? It appears as an untitled document. So if I put a title in here, okay, Miss Norcross's Google Drive video. All right, and that's all that I've typed. I can click on the title, and it will abbreviate what I've named my document into my title section. Okay, and you do have to click off of it for it to remain, or it'll go back to untitled. All right, so the layout of this is very similar to Word in many ways. You're going to notice that Word has a lot more options than Google Drive Docs, but a lot of those are unnecessary for your purposes, and so this kind of streamlines it down. So you've got your undo, redo, print, paint, you know, your different texts, all right, your different sizes, things of that nature. This little button right here that's an ellipsis, that's what that's called. And you click on that and it provides a few more options that won't fit on the toolbar at the size window you have, okay? So you can bullet, number, indent, you know, decrease your indent. Right here is going to be your spacing options, and this is going to be adding or subtracting space before or after a paragraph. So I find that helpful. Another thing that you guys will probably use a lot is this link button. So if I wanted to link my title to this video, okay, I would highlight the word or series of words that I want to link, and then I could paste the link to this video directly into this section, and it would automatically hyperlink my title on this document. All right. Then another nice thing about Google Drive is that it automatically, periodically backs up what you're working on. So if I were just to close this screen out right now, or exit this screen, which I'll go ahead and do for you, okay, then I will be able to find this document. See it right there? And it will be exactly as I left it. That's a really nice feature, especially for those of us that get tired of continually saving our work. And you'll notice when you open File, there is no Save As or Save button because it does it automatically. But under File, you'll notice things like Share, Make a Copy. You can download this as a PDF document, which I recommend if you're collaborating with someone that you do that. If you don't want them, or you're showing your work to someone, you save it as a PDF and send it. Don't send it as an open document because they can edit it at will. All right. And just some basic features down here like print, page setup, stuff like that. You can also insert several things similar to with Word. If you want to insert a page number, this is where you'll do that. Those drawings that you may have created in Google Drawing, you can also create them here and save them, and insert them into your document. Okay. Add-ons. This is really cool. There's some really neat add-ons for a Google Drive that are not available to Word. Excuse me. I recommend that you go in there and navigate and see if there's anything you think you might use, like a bibliography maker or a spell check or just anything cool that you might like. And you do actually have to click on here and activate them when you want to use them, but it is a helpful tool. All right, so this button right here is another thing I want to draw your attention to, and it's the comment button. So say you and a lab partner are working on a collaborative lab report, and you both have this document. You shared it with them, okay, which I'll show you in a bit, but you're working from two different remote locations. You're not in proximity to each other. I can highlight certain parts of this report and click comment and say, hey, this looks good, let's move on. Okay, and I can comment, and it leaves my name with the comment and the time of day I did it next to that part of the document. And once the other person has seen it, they'll then click resolve and it goes away. Okay, I highly recommend using this. If you send me a document to proof or to look over before you submit it, this is how I will leave my comments, so you need to know what they are and how to get rid of them. So the next thing I want to talk about is the share button. All right, so if you click share, this is what's going to pop up, and you're going to be able to either enter names of your contacts that are already pre-programmed into Google, if you have Gmail, or their specific email addresses, okay? Or you can just get a shareable link. The only thing with a shareable link is the person has to go back and refine that link every single time they want to look at what you're trying to show them. If you share it with them, you can go in later and remove them from the document if you see fit, or change what they're able to do. So as is, if I were to enter my school address here, ooh yeah, SCCPSS. I gotta say it in my head. Okay, if I were to enter this, okay, and I wanted to share it with myself, you click this drop down menu and it says can edit. So the pencil means that this person can edit your document. If you see this next to it, it means they can only leave comments. They can't edit it, they could just leave comments. All right, and can view. This means the only thing the person can do is actually look at the document. They can't comment on it, they can't edit, they can't make any changes, nothing. And then of course there is an add note area, and down here at the bottom, which you guys can't see, is the send button. Okay, let me try to open the window here a little bit. Yeah, see the send button down there? That's how you will send this. Okay, and it automatically emails to that person, and they'll get an email notification in their inbox saying so and so would like you to look at their documents or their slides or whatever, and then they have the ability to look. Now, if you want to remove anybody, say my name had appeared and I went ahead and sent that to myself. Let me do that. Okay, let me go ahead and send that. All right, it's going to appear under here when I click the share button again. You see how it says shared with one other person? All right, I could click on that and it will tell me who it's shared with. Okay, and it tells me who the owner is, that would be you, and who it's shared with. Now I could put a time limit on that of how long I want it shared with them. All right, or I could just remove that person altogether. I could have actually hit remove and it would have removed that owner altogether, that viewer altogether, which is what I just did. Okay, and make sure you hit save changes or it won't save that removal. All right, so that's the basics of Google Docs. Now, let's look at, and I'm not going to spend as much time in Sheets and Slides because they're kind of self-explanatory. Sheets is very much like Excel, you know, and titling it is exactly the same. This is almost identical to the layout of Excel. So I'm not really going to go into detail about that. Slides is basically like PowerPoint. The themes over here, this is how you change what your slide looks like, your slide presentation as a whole looks like. If you don't like that screen there, you can cut that off and have a wider viewing screen, and you could just go back under slide and hit change theme and it will represent itself. Okay, it's also up here on your toolbar. Also, here's your comments, right? You can add comments here or here. Very similar to PowerPoint as far as the layout and operation, okay? You've got the present view, right? And you've also got your share button here again. So you guys, if you're working on a PowerPoint together as a group, you can collaborate by adding all your peers to your project, and they can come in and work on their slides that they've been assigned at will. All right. Down here at the bottom also is your notes section where you guys can add what you want to say. Add speaker notes is right here. Or just leave yourself some little tidbits of information to help you to remember what to say. All right, so those are the three major uses for Google Docs. Google Drive. Google Drive is a cloud account, so it backs everything up to a cloud. So you do have to have internet access to access it unless you download the app on your phone, and it will let you actively work offline in documents that you've created already. Okay? This is just a very helpful way to store all of your stuff because you don't have to say, oh no, it's on my mom's laptop and she's at work and I need to go to the library and have it sent to me. You can literally access it from your phone and share it with me directly. There should be no excuses for why something's late or whatever. Another nice feature is you could directly upload documents you've created in Google Drive to the Google Classroom account. So if I post that you have a lab report due a week from next Friday, you can actually upload if you create it in Google Drive, in your Google Docs, you can upload it directly into Classroom and turn it in that way. All right, so this is just a handy dandy tool for you as a student to use that makes your life easier, my life easier, and essentially will be something that you will use in your career or post-secondary school. All right, so this is just a super helpful tool that I enjoy. If you have any further questions, feel free to ask me in class and we'll talk about it, but I think I covered most of the basics. And there are a few little nuances that you have to get used to that are different than Office, but I think for the most part you'll find that this is much more helpful and much more accessible for you as a student.